Prime Minister, you've lost the country, 2 cabinet ministers and over 100 of your own MPs have told you they've lost confidence in you. Why are you pressing on in saying you'd fight a leadership contest?
Because we won a very significant election victory in 2024 with the promise of change. That was a 5-year mandate. And what we promised to change was to stabilise the economy, and we are doing that. We promised to invest in our public services. We're doing that. The waiting lists for the NHS came down at record numbers just in recent weeks. We promised to get migration down, and we've done that. We promised to get closer to the EU, and we've done that. And we promised to invest in young people, particularly apprenticeships, and getting them into work. This is all change that we're bringing about. It's what we're elected to do. It's all the change that when we were elected into government 2 years ago, people said to me, it's not possible to do these things. We're proving that it is. And I came into politics late in life, actually. I came in only to work to improve the lives of millions of people who
that's what you
want
to continue
and
to do.
are entitled to better lives. And that's what drives me every single day.
Okay. Straight question, straight yes or no, please, then. Are there any circumstances in which you would step aside?
Well, I don't think there should be a leadership election. I think that the last government proved that parties that spend their whole time in leadership elections don't go on to win the next general election. I would also say this, that Andy Burnham is in this by-election. I want him to win. Our activists, our members are up there campaigning for him. That is a good thing. If he does win, we've immediately got a Manchester mayoralty
and I would like to come on to that.
That starts straight away. But it's very important to us that we win that.
So just yes or no, no circumstances.
I'm not going to walk away.
I'm
going to fight.
No circumstances you would step aside.
I'm not walking away. I'm going to fight.
So I'm a fighter, not a quitter. Is that how you're feeling?
Well, look, I'm not going to adopt phrases that other people...
Do you know that phrase?
But look, what I would say is this. Look at my record. I picked up the Labour Party after 2019, and people said it's not possible to save the Labour Party. They said the Labour Party is over. I said I don't accept that, and we turned it around. Then as soon as I did that, everybody said you're can't win a general election.
You're smiling because you know the quote, don't you?
We won the general election. Then everyone said you can't invest in your public services and build your economy. We've done both, and so. Rather than adopt other people's phrases, I would just say, look at my record in politics, in public service.
You know the line, don't you?
The reason is I'm only motivated by serving. It is a privilege to be the Prime Minister of this country. That is my motivation. That's what gets me up in the morning.
And you smiled because you know the quote, because it was Liz Truss to you, wasn't it, over the dispatch box in October 2022.
I don't think she's the only one.
You said, why is she still here? To shouts of resign, she said, I'm a fighter, not a quitter. That's you now, isn't it?
I have many people that I admire in life, but Liz Truss, I'm afraid, is not one of them. But look, I think it's important for me just to express myself in my own way. As I say, I had a career in the law. I came into politics late in life, actually not a career politician, only motivated by the fact I wanted to improve people's lives. And through that, I fought for the leadership of the Labour Party. I fought a general election, fought to become Prime Minister. And here we are at the G7, tackling some of the biggest and most difficult issues in the world. You know, the Iran conflict, the Ukraine conflict. And the UK is now seen again as a leader in those debates.
I know, but the problem is, and I understand that, but the problem you've got, and you know this, is back home, you've got people manoeuvring. Wes Streeton said yesterday he hoped over the weekend, should Andy Burnham win the by-election, that you would, quote, reflect on your own position and set out a timetable for your departure or face a leadership contest next week. What do you say to him? Bring it on.
I'm not going to get involved in this Westminster discussion.
It's not a Westminster. You could be facing a leadership challenge in a week.
Beth, if I spent my time responding to and just getting dragged into Westminster discussions, I wouldn't be doing my job. My job is to serve the country. My job is to be here having discussions with world leaders about the biggest issues that everybody says we face the most volatile, dangerous world we've faced in our lifetimes. That's not just a phrase, that is the reality. So should I be here having those discussions with world leaders, or should I be getting involved in to and fro with
if you
people
face
in
a leadership
Westminster? I know
contest,
very
it's
clearly.
not to and fro. The country's thrown into chaos, and we could have another Prime Minister in weeks. It's not tittle-tattle, this, is it?
My job is to concentrate on the job I was elected to do. And forgive me, that is what I'm going to
Okay.
do. Others may say you'd be far better off getting involved in the Westminster discussions. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the job. It is a privilege to serve my country, and that's why we won the election, and that's what I intend to do.
Would you bring Burnham back into your cabinet?
Oh, Andy's a great asset, and yes, I want him to have a big role in government.
Are you going to call him at the weekend and invite him back into your cabinet?
Well, I'm sure I'll talk to Andy after the weekend. Of course I will. I've spoken to him many times in recent weeks. And when I came into politics in 2015, it was Andy Burnham's team that I joined, and we worked very well together. He's a huge asset. He's been a fantastic mayor in Manchester, and if he comes back into Parliament, and I hope he wins in the by-election, he'll be a fantastic asset for our party and for the country.
And just to be clear, because you think that he needs to secure a Labour mayor in Greater Manchester before anything else. You think that that's incumbent on him because he's triggered this by-election?
Well, I would say to the whole of the Labour Party and that whole of the Labour movement, we're straight into a Manchester mayoralty. It is really important that we win that because this is one of the huge mayoralties in the Northwest and really important to us and to devolution more generally. And therefore, it is really important that we all throw ourselves into that, myself included. But we're tipped straight into it. There's no gap here. We'll be straight into that mayoralty.
Do you ever reflect on the role you've played in the predicament now you find yourself in now?
I reflect on the fact that every day I get up and with one motivation, which is to serve my country. I get up knowing that every day people say it's not possible to stabilise the economy. We're doing it. I get up and people say it's not possible to invest in your public service. They said you can't do both. You'll have to choose between the two. I've always battled against the odds in everything I've done in politics. I will continue to do so. And that is exactly how we won the election in 2024.
Do you feel angry at the predicament you're in?
No, I don't feel angry.
Do you blame yourself?
I don't feel bitter, because I remind myself it is an incredible privilege to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, to be here talking to world leaders about some of the biggest issues of the day, to be able to serve your country, to grapple with the difficult issues they are. Waiting lists needed to come down, migration needed to come down, we need a better relationship with the EU. Yes, these are big, difficult issues to be grappled with, but it is important for me to step back from that, and through you to just express my, people will attribute all sorts of motivations to me. I can express it myself. It is a privilege to be the Prime Minister of my country.
Your wife Victoria's here with you. She's watching you at this summit. What does she say to you? Does she still say to you, Keir, carry on?
We are very, very close. She is my rock, and we discuss everything about politics, about life, about our children, about being here, and I am incredibly lucky to have a wife like Vic.
She wants you to continue, because you're a human being,
I'm
as
not,
well as
I'm
you've
not,
got all
I'm
this
not,
pressure.
I'm not going to start disclosing
Okay.
all of my discussions. But look, Vic is with me every step of the way on every decision I have made, and every decision has been made in consultation with her. And I can't tell you how lucky I am to have a rock like Vic with me on my journey through life.
Yeah, you're quite lucky, because not everyone has that in life.
We're very lucky. We are lucky because we have that relationship. We're lucky because we have two beautiful children, and we never forget that.
Yeah. Prime Minister, you're going to fight on, that's very clear. Do you intend to lead your party into the next general election?
That's what I want to do, and I've been very clear about that.
Okay.
Do I recognise that that means we've got to turn things around? Yes, I do, but that's what I want to do. But yes, I recognise bad set of local election results, so we've got to turn that around.
That's a different answer to the one you gave me in September 2025 when I asked you. You said, I will lead Labour into the next election. In November 2025 at the G20, I asked you that question. I had an emphatic yes. What's changed?
Well, that's what I want to do, Beth, and I've been very clear about that throughout. But of course, when you lose elections as badly as we did in May, it hurts, and it should hurt, it matters. And that has got to be turned around. The question is, do we pull together and turn that around as a party and as a government, which is what I think we should do? Or do we descend into a leadership race which will bring chaos with it? We know that. The last government did this. They went through leadership elections, and we know very well what then happened as a result.
The fact your answer has changed means you do acknowledge that whilst you want to remain Prime Minister now, near a general election, you might not be the guy if it looks like Reform could beat Labour. You recognise that?
We need to turn things around. I think that is obvious from the May elections. I've always said I want to take us into the next election. That remains my position, but I also acknowledge that we've got to turn things around.
Final question, I'm out of time. Next month's going to be the second anniversary of your election victory. What have you been most proud of as Prime Minister, and what has been your biggest regret over these past 2 years?
Lifting 500,000 children out of poverty by removing the two-child benefit cap. That is something I'm proud of, because that will be felt not just this year, next year, not just during the duration of this government, but for those children, it'll be felt for the rest of their lives. In 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, they will have better, more enriched lives with better opportunity than they would otherwise have because of the decisions of this Labour government. I'm really proud of that, and I'm really proud as a government that that's what we are doing, the hard yards of making sure every child. We often say we want every child to go as far as their talent or ability will take them. I passionately believe that. I think most people do, to be fair. But it doesn't happen if you grow up in poverty. It does not happen. By taking the steps we have to lift children out of poverty, that will change them for the rest of their lives. I'm very proud of that.
Regret?
Look, there are many regrets in the sense that we've made mistakes along the way. I think all governments do. But I don't lose sight of the fact that we have stabilised the economy, we have brought down waiting lists, the NHS is turning around, migration has come down considerably, we've got a much better relationship with the EU, and here on the world stage with the G7, we're taken seriously as a country again. That wasn't happening before this government. We've changed things around. We are seen as a global leader. We're seen as part of the solution, not start of the problem when it comes to global affairs. That is a good thing for this Labour government. It's a good thing for our country.
What's your regret, though?
Well, look, I mean, there are plenty of things that we didn't get right, and I regret the fact we didn't get them right. But I also would point out, you know, as a Prime Minister, as a government, we take hundreds of decisions every single day, and it is inevitable that you don't get all of them right. But that's the same in any walk of life. Any business leader, anybody running any organisation, anybody running a media outlet would know, you know, when you're making that number of decisions, all of which matter, then some of them will turn out not to be the right decisions. I think it's not sensible to suggest that isn't the case, but it is also human experience. Everybody watching this, whatever they do for a living, whatever they do in their lives, will know that none of us get every decision right.
Okay, Prime Minister, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.